Happy Memorial Day, everybody. How is everyone doing? We are live. Thank you for your patience hanging out on the lake. It was just a beautiful day. Had to absorb the sun. Hopefully everybody got outside. It was just a beautiful day. I said, okay, no matter what, I had a feeling, you know what? A tape show on Memorial Day wouldn't do anybody justice. Had the cocktails, hung out on the water, hung out with the family, laughed, joked, did everything possible. Everybody asked, hey, John, what do you think of the Lions? Oh, my goodness. And you guys know now, a couple hours on the water, Doc gets tanned. Oh, my goodness. Mediterranean. I got loaded up with vitamin D. I said, you know what? Skip taping it. Just go live with the people. They will appreciate it. The 60 people on X and the 20 on YouTube. Smash the like button. God bless you guys. Roll call. Shout out to Mishanuga, Magic Muffin, Coach Walk in the house. Macomb. Shout out to Macomb. Meme Studio. It's interesting, Meme. I like your flow, but a lot of times you ask questions, which is very interesting, that I've written about typically the same day. Your Gibbs question, I wrote about today. If you're wondering why maybe it could be delayed, I wrote about it today on the holiday. I got up, typed it. Riley O'Brien in the house as well. Raw B1ZZ in the house. Hassanin Mahdi 540. Shout out to you. That's right. Tara Lockwood 6609. Happy Memorial Day. First and foremost, what'd you guys do today? That's what I want to know. But this week, it's about OTAs. I think if we know today's date is the 25th, there will be some information later in the week. Obviously, the Lions will post photos, but if you understand this number based on the day, you'll understand. Detroit Lions on SI, myself, will have boots on the ground on a certain day this week. We will talk to Dan Campbell. We will see a practice. We will see the rookies. We will talk to you guys. Tell me this week, all this week, if you see a video, say, hey, Doc, maybe catch up with this guy, or hey, Doc, it's only one day this week. And then we'll update you throughout the weekend regarding when the next days are. But starting over the next 17 days, there will be some access to your Lions. Meme Studio says, talk to Goff. I'm certain one of the days, but yeah, fair, very fair. Magic Muffin, boom, Doc's in the house. That's right, boom, here comes the Doc. Now, did any of you notice that a certain community mentioned the Doc by name? Hey-oh! That was cool. I'll tell that story later today. Or if you leave a super chat, I'll tell you a story. As soon as someone leaves a super chat, I'll tell you a story. My name showed up in a community post of a rival website. And they're like, someone call the Doc. I'm like, you know what? You don't have to call. I saw it. I'm like, oh, I'll write it. Doc has no problem writing anything. Now, it's not realistic, but it's a very interesting topic. I may bring it up today. But today, my mission is to talk OTAs, what typically happens, who we're going to talk to, what's the deal. Straightforward. We'll talk to Dan Campbell this week. We will see a practice. We'll get a chance to see players coming off the field, and anybody that walks off the field that's participating, we will have a chance to talk to. Typically, I'm sure they'll have a couple rookies, a couple players, marquee players talk. So a lot of you want to talk to Jared Goff, huh? Jared Goat? Sounds good. So I'm finding that potentially you guys more and more are asking for the Detroit Sports Podcast hat. If I put this hat for sale, would you buy it? Would you buy this hat? Straightforward. Blue, black, red. 3 colors. Would you buy it? All right. Maybe I'll consider it. Mishanuga, one day on the boat, you look like you've been on vacation, right? The sun loves me. The sun loves me. Okay, blue. More blue. What colors would you like? Blue, black, red. You want all three? All right, it might be in the $30, $35 range. We'll see how much it costs me to produce, and we can make it happen. Thank you. Sounds good, guys. Okay, I appreciate it. You guys asked, and we can make it happen. That's pretty. Actually, it's interesting. Detroit Sports Podcast. I should have sold these hats. Ennis Rakestraw, Tara Lockwood. Understood. Xavier's in the house. Yeah, see, I don't want to mess up anything. I'm going to keep it simple. I don't want to infringe on any content for the Lions, anything that's different. It'll just look like this, just like what I've been wearing. How we doing? It would appear from the chat that the Knicks are about to advance. Maybe a little extra, signed by the doc. I'll get a little gray pen and sign it for a little extra. Now you guys are being funny. That's funny. I appreciate that meme. That would be cool. But yeah, today I will talk about Jahmyr Gibbs' contract. What could be holding it up? I'll talk about OTAs. Typically, look, it's a time where it's not going to be padded. You're not going to get a whole lot of competition, but there will be some. You'll see an opportunity to see hopefully Jamison Williams. You'll hopefully see Isaiah Pacheco. Get to see some rookies. Get to see Ahmed Hassanin. Get to see hopefully Derek Barnes. Get to see Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell will speak early about his contract, most likely. So we'll get some video on that, and we will have access to Jack this week. So it'll be cool. Jack will talk about life-changing money, and also it's a simple question from the doc. It's going to be, okay, you're the leader of the defense. What have you thought about the defense, and what needs to happen to get better? This week, he takes time. Their work, he's all business, so it'll happen. Now you know. All right, blue, black. I'll get more of those. Xavier says, I was on a boat all day, a beautiful boat, unless you're fishing. I don't really understand being stuck on a boat. There's a lot of things you can do on the water, but listen, it's an opportunity to be on the water, float, see people, have some cocktails. And it's a great time, great way to just be out in the elements talking to people. It was just great. Make sure you smash the like button. We are live on Memorial Day. A lot of people took the day off. Sorry I was late, but look, it was just too nice to leave the water that early. We left we're about 30 minutes away from the crib, and we left about 7:50, 8 o'clock. Get a green one? Okay, we'll see. All right. Main topic today, OTAs. Look, it's just an opportunity to see the Lions. It's the first time we're going to see the Lions collectively. Now, typically, the Lions have modified their schedule. There used to be a rookie minicamp. We used to have a chance to see a handful of second-year players and rookies get out there and practice. The Lions didn't do that this year. It will be a full month since the media was out at Allen Park. I missed the place. A full month without access to the Lions. But now we'll have a chance to talk to Dan Campbell, talk to some coaches throughout the next couple of weeks. We'll have access about once a week. And then in the middle of June, there will be a 2-day mandatory minicamp. And after those 2 days, it's a 6-week break. We'll still do podcasts. I might take a week off. Maybe. I don't know how I'll do it. Maybe I'll see if Christian and Vito will tape shows or have somebody else do it. I don't know. We'll see. But there's 6 weeks literally that the doc should get away a little bit. I'm still going to write, preview the season, preview training camp, all the fun stuff. But there should be a little time to ramp up, give Doc a little time, but maybe more of the shows will be taped. We'll see how we play it out. It's all about your interest. If you show interest, we'll figure it out. Just don't take a boat from Venezuela to Miami. My girlfriend is Venezuelan, by the way, of Miami. She loves boats. She's 100% with you. Shout out to Xavier and the missus. If Xavier misbehaves, get on here and let us know. Make an account and tell us you're Xavier's girlfriend. We can tell him to shape up. What does it say? The fact you don't have a merch shop says a lot. No, listen, I'm satisfied with the super chats. I'm satisfied with the views. I like I said, you guys can see the genuine. I'm surprised you want this hat. I am genuinely surprised. I never think that. Like, I don't think commercially. I just think, okay, those that want to give a super chat on YouTube, those that want to give a click, go ahead. But you know what? I'm thinking about having a raffle. I'm joking. No, I don't think like that. I just think I'm not thinking about maximizing the capitalism. I'm just thinking about doing good content, appearing, doing something I love, talking to the people, talking some football, getting the opportunity to get the stuff out that I want to talk about in sports. So, and I like doing it. I genuinely look forward to it. I'm like, ooh, it means you're not a whore. How do you know? Not yet. Trust me, I've been watching a lot of UFC, TKO. Pretty soon it'll be welcome in to the Lone Wolves podcast presented by 5 different companies. Exactly. It should be about the content, right? But pretty soon, Nuga, pretty soon, I will have a sponsor, hopefully. One or two. You want to make this a little bit worthwhile. But hopefully you'll stick with me. But if you call me a sellout and I lose you, we'll always have the early run. Jomo Lion King. Hey, Doc, great show. Appreciate you always. Appreciate it. The freaks come out at night. The Doc's here at night. All right. Doc will be there, boots on the ground. And so I'm very happy to have that, opportunity as always to be able to cover the Lions and to be out at Allen Park. The key still works. Can get out there, cover the team, talk to Dan Campbell. So, first and foremost, there's going to be some storylines. And there's going to be some things to pay attention to. Some very key things to pay attention to this week. I think that one of the early storylines, as always, are going to be, when Dan Campbell speaks, what level of discussion is he going to assess when he talks about the expectations for the team? What is he going to say in regards to, here we go. Another storyline is going to be the new look offensive line. How do they look out there? Now, look, they're not in pads. The trenches, it's hard, but you'll just get to see some footwork. You'll just get to see them out there. The judgment of the offensive line in full won't take place till training camp, but we'll get a chance to see Blake Miller. We'll get a chance to see Cade Mays, Larry Borum, hopefully. Well, hopefully we get a chance to see some vets out there. Penei Sewell, Tate Ratledge. You just want to see kind of what it looks like. I would expect early on to see Larry Borum in the mix alongside Tate Ratledge, alongside Blake Miller. So getting different reps and seeing Goff and seeing Luke Altmaier, seeing Teddy Bridgewater. It'll be cool. Like everybody else, I want to see the new free agents. I want to see the Derek Moores. I want to see the draft picks. I want to see Roger McCreary, the DJ Wonhams of the world. Size them up. How do they look out there? What do they look like in a Lions uniform? Those are the things I want to see. I want to see some UDFAs like Anthony Lucas, Eric Hunter, Aiden Kianania. I want to see them move around. And then I think one thing that everybody's always going to write about, and it'll be up there on Friday. Friday is, what are the updates? Do Kirby Joseph, does he take the field? I would be surprised if he does, but we'll get an update. Another update on Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. What do you want to know? What interests you at this time, Lions fans peeking in here on Memorial Day? What interests you? And also, too, what did you guys drink today? What did you guys throw into the bottle? I posted on X at Detroit Podcast. When it's there, I will drink it. Coors Banquet. Oh my, oh my. Mr. Kirby Joseph via Meme Studio. I saw the photo. My goodness, the individual that did the baptism looked like a defensive tackle. Pastor Dexter Lawrence. Did you see Dexter Lawrence baptize Kirby Joseph today? Did you see Dexter Lawrence baptize Kirby Joseph today via the internets? Vincent E313. Shout out, Doc. Happy Memorial Day. God bless. What a beautiful, beautiful profile. Never change it. Stick with that one, brother. Stick with that one. MVP. Holy cow. You get to keep that up for a minute. Good Lord. That's one way to make the Doc happy. In bright white, tan, fly, in shape, feeling good, healthy. Feeling the same for all of you. Music was bumping, drinks were flowing, conversation. Oh, it was nice. Doc needs a vacation. My goodness, that is a beautiful profile. If you change it, the Doc will frown. You know what? I'm going to throw a text out for the question. Magic Muffin and Weird Nerta. Uh-oh, someone who I'm efforting. I've let the individual know. Monday and Friday, anytime. He per requested interview. Breaking confidentiality. I'm a ghost. Who's a ghost? Who? We're working on it. I've let him know. Monday and Friday, I'm going to send you the link. We're efforting. Mishanuga, shout out Vincent. $4.99 super chat in green. Whoop, whoop. Absolutely. Appreciate you, Nuga, and your support as always. Always. My goodness. How do I go away from that? You know what, Vincent? If you're on X, you owe me a favor. Take that photo at Detroit Podcast and wish us a happy Memorial Day. I want to post that and like it and have it whenever I'm ready to fire up a day or I'm tired. I'm going to be like, hell yeah, America, American flag and Sparty. I'm inspired. Tag me at Detroit Podcast. Happy Memorial Day, Doc. Thanks for broadcasting on your day off. Really, in the NFL, there's no days off. When you're a podcaster and you're out here trying to compete with these peoples, there's no days off. Smash the like button for the Doc. Super chats go right to the front of the line. You should pull the chat to ask Motor City Dan a question. Yeah. What? Of course, I was going to get to that, but you know what's up. What should the Doc ask Dan Campbell this week? What do you want to know? Absolutely. What one? And of course, you knew it was going to come this week. I'll ask it on Wednesday and Thursday, probably on my own X page. I will ask the fellas. I think I'll ask Booner. He's more prone to answer. We'll see. So me and Booner have a thing where it was weird. At first, Booner would send me all caps, Doc. And I would be like, well, this is weird. That's how he would send me a message. And then I'd be like, I thought it was important. I thought it was like urgent. And then he'd ask me, is Dan Campbell talking today? I'd be like, I thought so. The first couple times I thought it was urgent, but then I just started doing the same thing, just all caps, Booner. So I put this out to the man. Phil C, happy Memorial Day. It's just a semi holiday, Doc. Get on the air. Of course. That's right. I have Coors in my basement. Maybe you know what I'm going to do? I mean, look, it's Memorial Day. I don't know the rules. You guys tell me. I don't know these YouTube rules. Are you allowed? Do I cover the can? I don't even know the rules. Like I just showed up on YouTube at the behest of Lion Syndicate. He said, "You're talented. You do videos on your own website. Just show up on YouTube. You should do fine." I'm like, "Come on, bro. I just do videos on the internet. I don't even think I'm that good." He's like, "Just show up and do them." I don't know any of the rules. I don't know any of the protocols. Can I just? And I just started doing it. I never knew if I bothered crunch time. Are you allowed to drink on the internet? I don't even know, but I will. You know what I'll do? In about 30 minutes, I'll take a 3-minute break and I'll just get one. They're great. This is this what's in here? Arnold Palmer. Oh, end of the day, light Arnold Palmer, half iced tea, half lemonade from the jug. Chef's kiss, man. End of the night, tastes delicious. Phil C, 231. I cut the lawn, weed and feed to Mishanuga. I'm pouring a second bourbon. This better not be a semi podcast. No, we might go hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5. What do we do? I did the family time. I spent time with the family, not on the phone much. Only 3 stories. So far, Booner on vacation hasn't replied. What do you think Booner's doing right now? Is it spiced? Very good. Yes, yes, yes. Coach Walk. Booner, all caps. Doc, how are you? And I'm going to say, are you beating off? Let's see. Let's see. Does he admit? Exactly. I don't know. I think he probably waits till at least like 11:30 to do that. You know, come on, guys. It's Booner. He probably waits till 11 o'clock and then texts Lucas, and he's like, "How do I get that Cinemax again? Can you hook me up with the Cinemax password? The Showtime at night." Booner definitely watches Showtime at night. If you, you guys are funny. So realistically, Friday, what do you guys want to know from Dan Campbell? Smash the like button. There should be at least 30 likes. Let's try to get to 50 to 60 over the next hour, hour and a half. What would you ask Dan Campbell? Hell yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. At Detroit Podcast. Make sure you tag me or direct message me. Oh my goodness. See, Booner doesn't even make sure on crunch time tomorrow you let him know. Why don't you have Doc's notifications on? He's like, "Are you currently live?" It's oh, yeah, it is late, 9:20. What would you ask Dan Campbell? First of all, will Dan Campbell smile? Will he answer the question from the doc this year? Coach Walk wants to know, is TeSlaa going to have more of a role this season? The answer is yes, but good question. How do you envision what you've seen from Isaac TeSlaa? How quickly do you think he'll get into the flow of the offense? For sure. Those will be great questions. I definitely want to see Isaac TeSlaa on the field. Good question. There he is. Chat, let him know he's here to answer your questions. He's here to answer. The chat, my friend, thinks you're hanging out with your pants off, my friend. But they have a question. Ask away. He's here. Shout out to Crunch Time Booner. You want to ask him? Fire away. Well, if you want, scroll up, my friend. They'll tell you. It's all in there. They want to know about your cohorts. That's what's going to happen with them in regards to production. We see Caleb, awesome. What's going to happen with your cohorts? That's what they want to know. And they also want to know, your personal habits. Are you by yourself at the moment? Are you watching Showtime at the moment? That's what they want to know. They want to know, what did Booner do on his day off? You know what they think, friend? I don't know. This is funny to put on here, but this is funny. I can't even say it. That's what they think of you. My goodness, what a reputation this young man, this fine, upstanding citizen has. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He admits it. He's currently watching Star Wars 3 and eating dinner. My man. Make sure everybody support the fine Crunch Time fellas. 11-1. But that's awesome. Everybody wants to know. Listen, they don't come out to offer services till midnight. It's still early. Booner's ladies don't call them until midnight or 1 a.m. Allegedly, supposedly. Meme Studio 10. Doc, will you cry if Dan Campbell is raising that NFC Championship trophy? No, not the NFC Championship trophy. If they get to the Super Bowl, my first thought's going to be, okay, here's how my thought would go. I would be thrilled to cover a Super Bowl. On Sports Illustrated, I have the potential to get a credential to fly to the Super Bowl every year. I've never done it. But I have seen the great work Dave Burkett does, and there's a lot of Lions themed, but in the end, it's just a big expense. And I don't like, everyone knows here, I don't like being away from my family. It's my biggest joy. I don't like it. But if the Lions make the Super Bowl, my first thought's going to be, okay, how am I going to prepare for all the content? How am I going to put everything together? Because I got to get out there. I got to cover. I want to be professional. I want to do podcasts. I want to maybe line up guests. I want to, my first thought will be, okay, how does this work so that I can sustain a good level of content creation, do a podcast every week or every night, and get the work done. So that will be my first thought. And then it'll be breaking down the opponent. And then if the Lions win the Super Bowl, there will be a moment, I'm sure, of emotionality. But if the Lions win the Super Bowl, I will be stunned in silence. And I will be in public. So I'll try not to cry in public, but part of it will be the joy, the happiness of texting the likes of Booner and Jeff and my brother-in-law, my nephew, the people that have followed my friend who hopped off the Lions and joined the Broncos bandwagon, and be like, yeah, and then it'll just be like relief. Like, man, it was worth it. I covered a Super Bowl winning team. It'll be the stamp. It'll feel like a level of accomplishment for myself to cover a Super Bowl team. It'll feel Like, wow, like you've done it all. You fought to get into the NFL. You covered the NFL. You poked the bear a little bit. You uncovered things you maybe shouldn't have uncovered. You did the job. You annoyed people. You made yourself aware. You built a podcast. You built a company, and it'll just be crazy. But then the crazy part is you got to get down to the locker room for more coverage. I'm like, how the hell am I going to get all these videos shot of all the celebration? And I want to be in the locker room, and it's just a dream. It'll be a dream come true. It would be a dream come true to win a Super Bowl. I just wonder, I mean, I just would love to be in the locker room. Hopefully they let me in. It's just crazy. Coach Walk, the question you should ask Dan is, will Kirby or Branch be ready this season, and what's the time frame? Yep. That will be asked over the next 2-3 weeks for sure. Maybe even Friday. Shout out to Lucas Klotz as always. We now know. We now know. I don't want to air his business out unless he gives permission. Hopefully he, let him know to hop in here. We give him full support. We love Lucas. Lucas is a talented dude, and he's doing his thing. Cool. And Lions on SI will support anything that brother does. All he's got to do is ask. So what Booner said, that was code for we're moving on. We went to the big time and we left them behind. That's how Booner rolls. I'm kidding. Meme Studio. Imagine Ford Field, NFC Championship, the Lions win. How it would be? Whew. I could picture it, right? The cheers, the roars. If it ever happened in Detroit, oh man, it would be crazy. I would peek into all the content. Oh. Raw B1ZZ question for DC. Will you rest our starters sooner in games we're firmly in control of than in past seasons? Ooh, good question. I might do that in training camp. I'm going to chamber that one. Steve Wilds with a dose of reality. There's 100 people across 2 platforms. If you're on X, smash the like button, retweet. If you're on YouTube, there should be at least 40 likes. Captain Steve Wild says, Lions Super Bowl won't ever happen when we're alive. It's Memorial Day. Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, I'm excited. It's just a chance to kind of catch up on things. So at OTAs, it'll be an opportunity to kind of put things together. Okay, let's see. First of all, first look, I want to see how Blake Miller moves around, his footwork. Listen, you can't gleam a lot. The guys are not tackling each other to the ground. It's just a lot of engaging and then throwing. And the thing you can assess is maybe how the cornerbacks move, how Terrion looks. Ennis Rakestraw, does he survive the next month? And it's great. Which players do you want the doc to talk to? I know Jared Goff, some of the rookies. Who do you want the doc to approach at Allen Park? Here are the players I want to talk to and I want to learn from. You tell me, who do you want the doc to hang out with and say, hey? Now, again, some players might, it's organized team activities, mandatory mini camps in a couple weeks, but obviously I want to see Malcolm Rodriguez, how he's moving, Ali McNeil, Blake Miller. Penei Sewell, is he moving around on the left side? Obviously, Ahmed Hassanin, is he bulked up? How's he moving? Cade Mays, the new center. Roger McCreary, how does he look in the nickel spot? I think a lot of people are viewing the signing of Isaiah Pacheco to be underrated. And I'm sure this happened. If you guys were sitting around today, I'm very curious. What did you guys talk about with your crew with the Lions? To me, it's always the same. And I'm very blessed to cover the NFL and to be close to the team because people will say, okay, John, what's your over under? And I said, I got the team 11-6. And they're like, really? I said, the schedule looks kind of easy. They go, yeah. They go, yeah. But then you got that one person that's like, the schedule is not that easy. They're like, the Titans with Salah, the Jets with Glenn. They're like, that's going to be a little more difficult than you think. But I said, it's Geno Smith, bro. You got it's Jared Goff versus Geno Smith. If you lose that contest, something is very wrong. So that was the conversation. But the biggest conversation that I've had just in sitting down with the fellas that are smoking cigars and BSing about the Lions, they say to me, why did the Lions let go of David Montgomery, John? Why would they do that? He's a good player. Then naturally everybody says, well, I'm like, he's in his prime. He doesn't want 6 touches. And they're like, yeah, but a lot of people like don't care. They're like, the player is under contract. Nobody cares if he's unhappy. I said, yeah, I know, but he's in his prime. And, when the player is of that mindset, you don't want that player in the locker room. That's what I said. And that's what people say. Yeah, they get it. But a lot of people take the hard-nosed stance, maybe a little bit older too. They're like, just keep him on the roster. But a lot of people are debating, what are they going to get from Isaiah Pacheco? Is that a downgrade? Is that a lateral move? Is that a good move? Is that going to help in the red zone? So people want to know, okay, is that going to allow for Pacheco to be a red zone target? Who's going to get the target shares in the red zone? So those are the things that were talked about today in the gazebo chit-chatting about the Lions. Jason in Seattle, WA79. Happy Memorial Day. Who gets extended next, Gibbs or Sam? I'm going to talk about that after the break. I'm going to fire up a Coors, bring it on here, and we'll talk that. Because I do think there could be a delay. I wrote about it today. I think Gibbs could be delayed. Common sense-wise, I'll tell you why after the break. We got another super chat in the mix. Wow. Mishanuga, 1999. Read the super chat like it's 1999. Thank you, kind brother in orange. Brother, man, thank you. Doc, my buddy gave me the bottle of bourbon I just opened. Was meaning to open it with a celebration like Game 7 going to ECF. Sadly, I waited for a real moment. Your YouTube notification on Memorial was perfect. Boom! Pop open the bourbon, brother. Mishanuga, your support of this fine project is always going to be remembered. Even when I become a commercial shill, you'll have a special place. I'll sponsor a segment for you. Your support of this fine project has been overwhelming. We have the Mishanuga commercial. We have a Mishanuga segment. That's awesome, brother. We will have, we'll have this 3-minute break is brought to you by Mishanuga. When you think of breaks, think of bourbon drinking Mishanuga. When you think of commercial breaks, the next 6 minutes, think about Mishanuga. God bless you, brother. That means a lot. Thank you. Thank you humbly. Bust open that bourbon, sit back, relax, get that notification. Also, too, if you visit the page, I put up the preview early because I was like, oh, man, I'm going to be late. I will always, if I'm late, I'll put a time I'm thinking. And I came a little early, too. I set the time for 9 p.m. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get home. Appreciate you, Nuga. That means a lot. My goodness gracious. Who do you guys think? Gibbs or Laporta gets extended first? A lot of, and I'm proud of the people I sat with today. They were all frowning. They were all like, we don't want Gibbs getting the money. They all know Gibbs getting that money might prevent the defense from getting, and also people, the one thing that was just bugging me was always people are like, well, if Jared Goff had a defense, you wouldn't talk so much about how he's, well, if Jared Goff wasn't making $50 million, you could allocate even more money to the defense if you wanted to. If Jared Goff makes 35 or 30, you maybe could have the other edge rusher that's a little bit more than a rookie or DJ Wonnum. 4.99 in from Mishanuga. Super chats presented by Mishanuga here on Memorial Day. 4.99, always green, but got to rep Tennessee orange when you live here. No doubt about it. You know what that means. Wait a minute. 2030 Nashville? Do we know anybody in Nashville that'll hold us up? Doc in Nashville? The Grand Ole Opry for the Doc? Where's the builder? Is he going to be alive still? I'll be like, you want some therapy, brother? Nashville seems like I want some Nashville, real Nashville hot chicken. Is this Jason P? Doc, this is Jason. Man, is this the Jason P? My brother. Thank you for checking in. Yeah, man. I got old, right? Now, what is it? It is. Oh my goodness. I got stories for days about growing up in East Detroit. We got hazed by this guy. This guy almost killed me. No, I'm teasing. This was an older veteran when we first played high school tennis. He was one of the older dudes you looked up to. Hell yeah, brother. Jason, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm just covering the Lions, covering the NFL, doing my thing. I have not played tennis in a minute. I picked up golf a little bit because I don't think there's too many people playing. What about you? What's going on with you? Your sister-in-law takes care of my teeth. She laughs because, fun story, I went like 12 years in between dental visits because I have perfect teeth. She's like, I see your wife more than I see you. But then she's like, okay, now I've made all the appointments. I'm on track. I'm like, okay, because I'm a healthy guy. I'm relatively healthy. I'm blessed. Life's good, man. Hopefully life's good. Are you in Seattle? You're out west? It's always good to see and hear from you. Jason in Seattle. Hop on in more, brother. We'll read your stuff no matter what. I'm trying to, it's Memorial Day, and I want to make a joke here. I'm old now, so now I play pickleball. But no, the kids played. The courts are packed. I'm like, to me, I feel like an ultimate hater. I hate pickleball. I'm like, this is like American lazy tennis. They just shortened the court and said, you know what? We don't want to run. We want to make this half. Everyone made pickleball famous. But I grew up playing high school tennis with this fine fellow. And really, in the end, that was one of the first stories. For those of you that know the podcast, from me starting it from nothing and getting to the NFL, it was the same thing in tennis. Our freshman year was like, it was like the Bad News Bears. We were like a group of people that were like talented, but not organized. We got our ass kicked a lot. And then we were like, we don't want to get our ass kicked anymore. And then we're like, let's just work hard. And so with the help of Jason and the older guys, we got together and said, okay, we want to get after it. And we did. We grew together, and it was an amazing time. And our senior year was fun. We won a lot. So Jason, my brother, I cover the NFL. I do a podcast. You see it. I write for On Sports Illustrated. Check me out, brother. I know you see the Facebook stuff every now and then. Peek in, comment on the Facebook page. It's great to hear from you, brother. It really is. Make sure you always give Eric my love and wishes, as always. Great to hear from you, brother. It really is. Life is good. I got to pick up the tennis game. Listen, if you're back in town and you're still mobile, hit me up. We'll play some tennis. It might take me a minute to just get reacclimated a little bit, but I'll still whoop your ass like always. Mishanuga, you need a lone wolf RV like Madden. Right. The lone wolf RV, getting around town. I just got to hit a couple more milestones when I hit official 10 years. Maybe I'll ask for some bonuses to go toward a RV to travel all over. I hate flying. I just do. But hell, you know what? If my guy's out there in Seattle, I got a free place to stay, maybe, or a free hookup on a place to stay respectfully. Maybe I'll take Jason up on an offer to go. I definitely want to see the 12th man out in Seattle. Ha 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 ha. You know what? It's like high school all over again. Very funny. That's what it was like as a freshman. Because I was a 5 foot tall tennis player, but I was hungry and I was like Michael Chang. I was like, no balls getting past me. I was Michael P.F. Chang. Hattie B's, the best Nashville hot chicken. Duly noted. Hattie B's. You guys tell me. Phil Bach, best Nashville style hot chicken in Detroit. Woo. You know what? I'm not doing the spicy, man. It rips my stomach up. I'm not doing it. I've been living vicariously through all the videos of the people in town with the chicken. You guys tell me, the chicken craze is one that, is, I get it, the spice. I'm more a chicken wing guy. Sweet Taverns. I'm more of a chicken wing guy than the Nashville hot. I graduated from East Detroit High School. I went through the entire East Detroit public school system from elementary all the way through Canton Elementary, Kelly Middle School. I was one of the first classes where the 6th grade you graduated in elementary school. The 5th grade class behind me went to middle school. I went to 7th grade, and my middle school experience was only 2 years. But then after me, the class behind me went 3 years to middle school. So my middle school experience was perfect. It was only 2 years. I loved Kelly Middle School. It was amazing. Absolutely perfect, flawless with all my friends. And then I got to East Detroit High School, and I acclimated well. I joined the tennis team. I was smart. I had a good head on my shoulders, and I had the same piss and vinegar as a tennis player that I have as a podcaster. I wanted to be number one. I wanted to be the best, and I wanted to compete. I wanted to be part of the team. And I was all those things. I was comfortable. I made friends, and I talked a lot of junk to the guys on the team. It was perfect. It was just what the doctor ordered for a high school lad. Be popular, work hard, and we had a blessed tennis coach, Mr. Larry Humphrey. He pushed us. He grew us up, and he really just, all he did was say, "Hey, if you guys try, you guys could do something." And it was fun because we were losers, and then we became winners. Our freshman year was awful, and we didn't want to be that way. Our tennis coach said, "I think if you guys just tried to organize and work out and talk to each other and play together, all of you just play together." And the older guys like Jason and Anthony V were great. Yeah, right. And we just worked hard and we got better and we competed, and it was just a cool group of guys. It made high school absolutely fun. The tennis rides, the bus rides, it was cool. Perfect. All you could ask for. It made the 4 years fly by. And every now and then I still see and message Anthony V and my guy Jason here. That's cool. What you doing out in Seattle, brother? Patrick Walker gets in. We will be a matchup nightmare for everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I'm very high on the Lions offense. I just very high on the Lions offense. I got 10, 11 wins. So again, the players, Blake Miller, Malcolm Rodriguez, I want to see Panay Sewell, Hassanin, Cade Mays, Roger McCreary in the slot, Isaiah Pacheco. Yeah. So before I chatted it up with my guy, Jason, talking to people in the bungalow, people were saying, listen, is Isaiah Pacheco really better than David Montgomery? Some said, yeah. Some said, you know what? We like this option. Is Isaiah Pacheco better than? Beautiful. Beautiful. 2030 Super Bowl, Nashville. I've never been to Nashville yet. I've been through Tennessee a couple times. Nashville Super Bowl. But before then, if I'm in that area, I'm gonna hit you up, brother. Listen, if you're on X at all, my handle is at Detroit Podcast, one word. Hit me up, or you know what? Hit me up on Facebook. But I'm not on there a lot. You know what I mean? I have like 2-3 Facebook pages, and I mix and match. But just hit me up on the Facebook as well. And if I'm out there, I'm gonna hit you up. We'll have a beer. I think my path will cross through Tennessee quite a bit. If you want to tell, do tell. What area? Listen, secretly, it's Jason the Builder. All those people down there are a little bit weird. Tennessee people are weird for some reason. He goes by the nickname Jason the Builder. He's got to change it for some reason. I shouldn't joke, but just, my God. So people go viral for the weirdest stuff. Undefeated unless we beat ourselves or the refs rigged the game. Brad knows what's at stake, and Pacheco will be great. Jason's in a little south of Murfreesboro, Shelbyville, Bell Buckle, Shelbyville. Very nice, Jason. Man, this is cool, man. You put a smile on my face. Yeah, and hit me up on Facebook. If you read, I know you've checked it out. You've seen a lot of my interviews. I've seen the likes, and that means a lot, brother. I see you lurking. That's cool. Make sure you smash the like button for the stream. Coach Walk, I do not know the names of the people you mentioned. We'll pick up Jason might know my affinity for stuff like that. We'll pick up Jason, and we'll end up down in Atlanta for some reason. On our way to Atlanta on the 12-hour drive, we'll stop by Shelbyville, pick up Jason when I go down to Atlanta for the Falcons game. But I think I keep thinking, is the Falcons game in Detroit? I think it's in Atlanta. I keep saying it because I want to make a trip to Atlanta. I think it's Atlanta, then the Titans back in Detroit, or whatever it is. Class of 1997. Let me put this as a banner because I want to know before I go on break. You can talk amongst yourself because it'll go into the content about it'll go into the content about Jahmyr Gibbs. And the idea is this. Is Isaiah Pacheco, that was the talk today that was most urgent that people were talking about just hanging out, is Isaiah Pacheco upgrade over David Montgomery? I don't feel like it's a major upgrade. I don't know if it's a major downgrade. I just think if you use them differently, you can get something over them. And we'll talk about it. Is it an upgrade? Steve Wilds on Memorial Day. So what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to then pass this along to Booner? Contribution to the fund to buy Booner a girl. Like, am I supposed to like take some of this and then cash app it to Booner? Takes a couple days to hit the account. But deal. I might do it. I don't know. I feel like Booner would get a little nervous that his illegal activities would get caught. No, that's funny to put in a super chat. This $9.99 contribution is to contribute to the fund to establish Booner paying for services. Or we'll look at it more realistically. This is the contribution to fund for Booner to open a bank account so that he can buy $100 dinners when he finds his girlfriend. And he goes to Art and Jake's and he realizes, damn, nachos are $19.99, and she's going to order typically the kale salad and the onion rings and a couple drinks, and her bill is going to be 60 and his is going to be 30, and he's got a tip, so that's $110 for the first date just to get no kiss. So we need to get Booner a I can date fund too. Bless you guys. 6 super chats. All right, if you listen, we roll how the site goes. If you want to donate $1 or $2 so that Booner can actually have a date. I don't think Booner's been on a date in 5 years. I mean, he was at Woodward Sports grinding. He started Crunch Time Sports grinding. He's on the internet all day long, day and night. If you want Booner to get a contribution to get a date and to have his first date in 6 years, hit us up. Pretty soon, you guys are you know it's coming. You know it's coming. Doc John Macaroon took solicitations for his super chat in the effort of keeping Booner afloat, and he took all the money. Doc is a loser. I'll be like, yeah, I did. I didn't give any of the money to Booner. I paid for one myself. Doc is somebody that solicits super chats for his friends, and he never gave a single penny. Oh, this is where he's gonna listen. He's gonna just obliterate me for doing this, but you only make fun of those you love. Oh my goodness, you guys like making fun of Booner, huh? Here it is. It's time for the Nuga 3-minute break. In the first hour, we talked about early previews because we've got all week. We're having some fun, some jokes, some super chats. 6 super chats so far. Listen, I don't know. One day, if he tells me to stop, I will. F it. Will Booner. What do you think Booner's type is? Like dominant? Like I could see Booner with an accountant, a teacher. You know what? I can see Booner with a like high school teacher. Sweet girl. Just real nice. Sweet girl that likes sports but doesn't like the big sports, doesn't like the big four. She likes the PWHL. She's like, Booner, will you take me to the women's hockey game? And will you take me will you take me to Hamtramck? Like she likes Detroit City FC and PWHL. I don't like the Lions. And then, like I said, think about it. Think about this topic. Okay. 3-minute break. Is Isaiah Pacheco upgrade over David Montgomery? We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about naturally the Jahmyr Gibbs extension. And also, too, we got what's on the table. The feedback is, what do you want to learn about OTAs? What do you want to read from the doc? We're having fun. It's a lighthearted show. We'll stick around as long as you guys are here. We got 100. Give me a little extra time, maybe a couple minutes here. Let me reset. You know, I don't think I need 5 minutes, but I don't think I'll leave the screen blank. I will try to hop back on in 3 minutes, but this is the Mishanuga timeout. Doc used to go 3 hours live and never took a break. Then he got lazy. All right, give me 3 minutes here. Pull this up, and it's perfect too because it's the countdown. 3 minutes. We'll pull up a cocktail. Second half of the show. We'll see how long this goes, baby. All right. That was 3 minutes, actually. Very helpful. Second half of the podcast. What do you guys think? You had a chance to think about it while you're sitting back, however you're watching this on the couch. Hello. Yes, sir. Cheers to all you fine American citizens out in here and anyone else watching this fine stream. Man, nothing better. Cold as ice. Super cold. Doc, super cold. Keeps the throat lubricated. Coach Walk 37. I like this podcast after hours, right? But, most of the time, the freaks come out at night. But, I want to watch some television, get to bed. So maybe periodically we'll start later. But 7 o'clock works, right? Yeah. But on a holiday, why not? We're just chilling with the freaks. But make sure you smash the like button. Super chats go right to the front of the line. Mishanuga for an O lineman for Booner. You guys want a big hefty man for Booner. Okay. You want Booner taken care of. My goodness, you guys are funny after hours. Jason, my guy in Tennessee, wants to know, do you guys see any additions in the next wave of free agency? Anybody out there that you want? I mean, the name that everybody's talking about still is Kevin Zeitler. Everybody loves Zeitler. Before he signed, a lot of you were liking Calais Campbell, but he's getting back with the Ravens, I think. I just think that, the names you're going to see out there aren't going to make a lot of impact for what the Lions are looking for. The only edge really is Epinesa, who had his situation where he was signed but didn't pass. Reader left, went to the Giants. So I don't know if there's too many impactful free agents left that we see. That I think we just got to wait to see some post June 1st cuts. And we'll talk about one that I lit up the internet because you guys told me to. Like, Doc ain't scared. So somebody had asked what defensive tackle. Let me hit the NFL free agents and see who's out there. Because you can pull it right up right away. Position, defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman. Most of the guys that are available, there's 25 interior defensive linemen led by 10 years experience, David Onyemata, Daquan Jones, a lot of them in their 30s. Greg Gaines, last with Tampa. Yeah, a lot of guys in their 30s. Formerly the Jets, maybe Kalen Saunders. So yeah, it's slim pickings. It's not a big list of names. Riley O'Brien, happy Memorial Day. It's a good day, man. Smash the like button. Silent service in here. Let's do a quick roll call. What do you guys think? Are you seeing the benefits of the Lions adding Pacheco to this roster? Shout out to Mishanuga, who's given a lot of super chats today. We've gotten 7 super chats on Memorial Day. Silent service, Riley O'Brien, Coach Walk, my man, friend, always friend. Jason in Seattle, WA79, Jason P. from the ED. Steve Wilds dropping bombs on Memorial Day. Always enjoy Coach Walk up in here. Phil C, blessings to you and the family. One Repub. Patrick Walker. That's awesome. Isaiah Pacheco. So, of the people on YouTube, all of you should hit the like button. There's 25 people on YouTube and 85 on X. Let me hit a refresh of the X. See if any more people want to listen in at 10 o'clock on a Monday. Give it a little update. That's cool. Nice. 115 people on a Monday. That's not bad for a Monday evening. 4.99. I don't like odd numbers, Doc. My man, Mishanuga, you appreciate it. If you are a member of the stream, just like Phil C, you can smash the emojis. I mean, in what world is it not great? Cheers to you, Phil C. Cheers to you and to everybody today. Hopefully you had some fun. Smash the emojis. In what world is it where friends of yours who put you on for an interview and you have a chance to make emojis and members of the group? That's craziness. Mishanuga hates odd numbers. He has added multiple super chats. We are at 8 so far. Silent Service believes potentially Isaiah Pacheco is an upgrade. Now, here's where it's interesting is that Isaiah Pacheco might be somebody that could be called upon to get those tough short yardage situations, wants to be here, and I think has some elusiveness to his game that I think the Lions saw. They saw his tough runs. The one thing that's going to be key is staying healthy. If he doesn't stay healthy, it's just going to be a nightmare. I feel like Pacheco is going to get a lot of those touchdowns and get those short yardage, tough yardage, 4th and 1. Give it to Pacheco. He's going to be itching to stay healthy and prove himself. I think it could be a sneaky good signing. And recently ESPN rated it on the signing of Isaiah Pacheco in free agency to be very underrated. To be one of the most underrated signings of the Lions this offseason. So I do want to touch on this topic. So we have obviously your preview for OTAs. What do you want to see? What type of storylines could emerge? I'll touch on some storylines in a minute. There is an issue that could cause Jahmyr Gibbs to not have his contract be signed right away. And it could be delayed. Here's why. And it's just common sense stuff, very common sense stuff that you guys know. And if you read it today, we already talked about it on the website. So Jahmyr Gibbs probably seeking north of $20 million. There's a chance he breaks 20 and a half, which is Saquon's deal. Here's the issue. And here's where NFL contracts can get a little bit dicey and spicy. There is a competitor who is also sitting and waiting for a contract too. His name, Sir Mr. Bijan Robinson. So both could be waiting for the other to get done first. Meaning, whoever signs first, I think will end up eventually being the second highest paid running back. So if Jahmyr signs first for 21, Bijan just goes, I want 20 and a half or 21 and a half or 22. If Bijan signs for 21, Gibbs is going to get 21 and a half. I think there's going to be a little game of cat and mouse chess between Bijan and Gibbs. Now, I was sitting down doing this like everybody else today. And I was so happy. The table was like, I don't want to pay Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm like looking around going, oh, my people, not homers. I'm like, the internet's full of homers, slappies that just go, yeah, pay Gibbs. He's amazing. Pay him. Yeah. Do it. Whatever Brad does. Brad cooks. Brad this. Jared's great. Everything's great. Why are you guys questioning? Why don't you guys question Lamar Jackson? Why don't you guys question Josh Allen? I'm like, that's kind of the easiest question you're ever going to throw out on the internet, friends. We don't give a shit about other players. We give a shit about the players that are on the Lions. The only thing we care about Josh Allen is, do we ever want to trade 2 first-round picks for him? It's like, what a weird deflection. Why don't you complain about Josh Allen? Is what people say. Some people say, why don't you complain about Lamar Jackson? Why would I want to complain about Lamar Jackson? He's not on the Lions. I complain about Jared Goff. He's on the Lions. He is the one under center. He's the one I'm questioning. That's a weird deflection. And I'm not going to criticize Lamar Jackson because a little itty bitty part of me might want to trade for him. Maybe. I don't know. So, a listener messaged late last night. Sometimes you guys do send some DMs at some odd hours, but I get it. You know, out west, overseas. But I'll read it. I think he's given me permission to read it. So, first and foremost, let's do a quick roll call. Do you want to pay Gibbs? Market rate, $20 million or more. Do you want him to get paid more than Saquon? Yes or no, chat. Do you want Gibbs to be paid? I don't. I am of the perspective you can franchise tag him for the next 2 years. And it's less than $20 million. I get it. Okay, why? Okay, I get it. Me, I'm cheap. I'm like, I don't want to pay him 20 for the next 5 years. I want to pay 14, and I'm good. And then I'll get another running back. Silent service, why do you want to pay Gibbs? Noir lifestyle. Wait a minute. Is that like what I think it is? Let me hit the Google machine here. The noir lifestyle, like leather. Hit the Google machine here. Let's see what AI says. What is noir lifestyle? Because I don't know what that is. Noir means black in French. Yeah, black leather. Noir. Nighttime. I'm fascinated. Your first time messaging, getting your stuff read. Why is your name that? I'm curious. You've piqued my curiosity. Noir Lifestyle 98. Why is your name that? But you're in support. Why? Why do you want to pay Jahmyr Gibbs? Mishanuga says, Bijan will sign before Gibbs because Brad is cheap. But then if that situation happens where Brad waits, it costs more money. Doesn't the second that Bijan Robinson signs for 21, Gibbs goes to 22? I feel like there could be some sacrifices made where maybe Gibbs gets more guaranteed dollars, but I feel like it's going to be a situation that both wait. Sometimes you pick names because, just a quick reference, I chose the Lone Wolves podcast because Brad Holmes said that he's not a real, sometimes when there's meetings and group meetings, he definitely understands consensus, but sometimes he pays extra attention to the lone wolf that maybe is not willing to be like the group. I consider myself that way. I'm a lone wolf. Thinking outside the box, bull in a china shop, I am different. I think in the media world, I'm different. I think in the broadcast world, I'm different. But I'm not really a lone wolf. I have help. But I just think the name is perfect. The Lone Wolf, Doc, John McEnroe, the Detroit sports podcaster, the bull in the china shop, the semi-decent reporter, semi-decent writer, semi-decent content creator, semi. Semi SI. What a beautiful way if I ever get introduced. I'm gonna write all those things down. He is the Detroit sports podcaster, semi talented, semi interesting, semi good looking, semi on SI, the bull in the china shop, the cultural institution, the happy Habibi, Doc John Macaroon. They'll be like, this thing gonna end? The Coors Light drinking, Arnold Palmer swigging. I'd rather let Laporta walk and trade Kirby. Oh, Silent Service wants to break up the team. I got you. I got you. You could have got a tight end, but I think they love their draft picks. The semi Habibi. The semi popular, semi interesting. After BH aced it, I'm looking forward to OTAs. I'm pretty sure you mean the draft. Do you care? Do you think Brad should put a number on the table and get it done first? Who gets done first? Jahmyr Gibbs, B. John Robinson. Who gets done? Doc, don't you think if they franchise Jahmyr, that would make him disgruntled? He wants a contract that is reflective of his pit play. Yeah, if it would make him disgruntled, but he's not underpaid. He'd be making north of $15 million, guaranteed. He'd be making the same money he makes for his fifth year option. Who's going to be upset at 15, 15, 15? Too bad. Sometimes I look at it like, are you really going to be mad over $20 million when you're going to be endorsed? You're going to potentially make your money in a lot of ways. It's a lot of money. It's 20 million. But here's how you look at it. Okay. Just real fast and simple. Jahmyr Gibbs is 24 years old, just turned 24 this year. 24, 25, 26. You play, maybe the 27 year. You play the 2-3 years in the Lions system, and you find the next guy, and you let somebody, he'll get, if he balls out, in the end, you're always auditioning no matter what. Even if I'm ever blessed to do this on a grander scale, it's always going to feel like it was when I started with 5 readers. You always got to prove yourself. So he can be disgruntled. So what? He's a professional, and he would have made $45 million in the next 3 years. And then he will make 80 to 100 million. He will make it. He will make that money. Just maybe make somebody else pay it. The Super Bowl champions just let Kenneth Walker walk out the door. Right. But I'm glad the table I was at today was like, they didn't want to pay him. I was happy to read. I was like, good. They're like, yeah, you don't pay running backs. It's kind of been shown that that's not the position that overwhelmingly across the league, when you donate that money, it helps out. Mostly it should go to the trenches and to the defense. But I appreciate your thoughts, Noir. It's cool. And you can always disagree. We're free flowing here. He's not thinking about endorsements. I'm 100% sure he's thinking he's going to be the highest paid running back in the league. He's even said it indirectly in some clips. I know, but I think that's a move Brad could make that could be a little bit tough. Brad pays his own. But see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like, well, maybe you could have got a better nickel if you didn't pay a running back 20 million. Maybe you could get a better safety, a better corner, better two corners. I just look at it like if you can use the tools of the league to keep someone's salary a little bit down, that's $6 million a year. That's a caliber player that you could want on this defense. I would allocate it to a corner or a reserve on the defensive side, or maybe a guard that you can pick up later on. That's a little bit better than just a throw in. Yeah. So listen, sometimes we always have to set the discourse that, hey, you can, sometimes people feel like, hey, you can't disagree with someone that's a host. I welcome it. I love it. My favorite is to debate with people that don't agree with me. The 9th super chat has come in. Does 99 look like his dad at his age? Go green. I'll ask Mr. Hassanin. Mr. Hassanin, does Ahmed look like you when you were younger? If you're still listening, if you watch the stream, that's a good question. Go green, baby. Go white. All day, all night. That's right. Mishanuga, my man. God bless you, brother. Jason wants to know, do you think Brad is a little gun shy with Gibbs because of the Gurley situation? Great analogy. For those that don't know, Brad Holmes was part of the Rams team, paid Gurley. And unfortunately, at that point, though, Jason, his body was beat up because he was used heavily in college and he was used by the Rams before he got paid. So I don't think he's gun shy at all. I don't think that Brad is gun shy at all. I think the issue is simply Jameer's camp is going to say, wait, Jameer. Jameer's camp's going to say, tell us your number, Brad. Brad's going to be like, how about we start at, let's go right in the middle. Because if you put Jack Campbell right in the middle of Fred Warner, and you make him the second highest, you go, okay, let's put Jahmyr Gibbs right in the middle of Christian McCaffrey and Saquon. Let's put him at 19.5. Jameer's going to be like, nah, let's wait. Let's just sit and wait. And let's see if Bijan flinches first. I think both Bijan and Jahmyr are waiting for each other to sign, because I feel like the second one signs, the next one's getting $500K on principle more. They're both similar players, both hardworking, both expect big dollars. But that's why if they think it, if you want to look ahead, I mean, naturally speaking, if Saquon's at 20.5, the next step up is 21. And you say, okay, if Bijan's going to get 21, we just go to 22. 22 million a year, 4 years, 88 million. That's how I look at it. So I don't think he's gun shy at all. The 10th super chat. Haha, I love it. Let's go. Mishanuga hates odd numbers. So if you give me a super chat, Mishanuga is going to jump right over it. Got to be an even number, Doc. Go green, go white. Go, Doc. Go Lone Wolves chat. Hell yeah. 10 super chats. You guys are making this fun. That's really cool, man. Thank you. Ghost. Per sources, he's a ghost. Quote unquote, GHOST. We're working on it. He's going to be like, that guy's weird. I'm just trying to have a chat, brother. But to tell you guys full disclosure, I'm going to invite him every Monday, every Friday. I'm not going to send him a link every day. I'm just going to invite him every Monday, every Friday, so that if he hops on, it'll be a great beginning of the week or a luscious end to the week. But the 3 days in the middle, he's not invited. Keep it coming. That's right. Pour more. Cheers, brother. Cheers to you. And cheers to all of you for the sacrifices that people made for our freedoms and the beautiful sacrifices that the armed forces and those that serve what they mean to the people and their families and those who gave their lives. God bless all of you. Thank you for letting us be able to talk freely and to live in the greatest country in the world. What is the off the board? I love it. And also, too, in the next 30 minutes, we can go off the board, too. Again, the chat is obviously lion centric, but anything you want to catch my attention, type in capital DOC and ask a question. I'll answer anything. But I think at the end, we'll do Ask Doc Anything. Sure was. Completed and appreciated. Thank you, Nuga. You know it's true. The most famous band from Detroit. Can I say the Motown 5? I think a lot of you are seeing them. I might see it tomorrow. Maybe the Michael Jackson movie. No, I don't, like I said, at this point, I can't even tell you factually if the Motown 5 are from Michigan. Best musical groups from Michigan. Alice Cooper, love him. Eminem. Let me get you some bands. I think a lot of people like the White Stripes. Old School, the Temptations. Bob Seger is up there. For sure, Bob Seger. Big fan of Ted Nugent. Who do you guys like? Who's the best band ever created from Michigan? Mishanuga says, we are not claiming Alice Cooper. Mishanuga is officially sanitizing the list. He's like, these people are not from Michigan. Quick sidebar. I watched the Crash movie, the Crash documentary. That story's crazy. That story's crazy. I was just telling the missus, I don't care if it was intentional or not. If you're going 100 miles an hour, you're negligent. If you're going 100 miles an hour, you don't have to prove intent. You're going 100 miles an hour and you crash the car and people pass, you should serve time. You're going 100 miles an hour. The speed limit is 45 at highest. You can't, if you're going 50 miles an hour over, I don't care if you were intently doing it or not. The Crash. Man, these documentaries on Netflix are wild. Back to Jahmyr Gibbs real fast. I think that Gibbs might go first and he might not care as long as the number is a little bit more than, as long as he can set the market and is a little bit more than Saquon Barkley, I think he'll be happy. I could be wrong, but I think because Brad likes to put the numbers on the table, Brad will set the table and then the table will be set and then Bijan will just trump it. Mishanuga, you owe 2 super chats for being wrong. The penalty for incorrect chat, 2 small super chats to get you to even number. All right, fun story. Fun, quick sidebar story. So, you guys know I browse the internet all day, every day. My job is to understand Lions content, um, check it out, read podcasts. So I'm browsing and I come across this, which is really funny. So this is courtesy of the community at Pride of Detroit. So I I'm like, okay, this was funny. So I don't know if it's one of you in here that did this, but this was funny to read because if you guys know, a lot of these headlines, let me see if this one did. A lot of these headlines that show up in community posts end up as Google headlines. And it was funny to see this headline pop up on Google too. It was classic. It was funny. And it shows up as this is crazy. It was awesome. I can pull up the Google headline too. It just made me laugh. So, oh my goodness. So, let me hit the share button. So, this is the community at Pride of Detroit. And what happens is a community post is you become a member of the site and you are able to then post links. And I'm like, just scrolling through, oh, okay, log in to see fewer ads, SB Nation. Are we overlooking? Da, 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 da. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what? Someone get the doc on the phone. I'm like, hello, that's me. It is I. That's me. So I looked at it and I said, to what do I owe this honor? I'm like, man, I feel a little special. I said, I feel a little special. Someone took the time to say, hey, call the doc on this one. And I said, wait a minute. To what do I owe this honor? Shout out Russell Wayne. Shout out to you, brother. Happy Memorial Day. It's all good in the hood. Broadcasting, 200 people, 27 on we have built some kind of community on X. 27 people on YouTube and 142 on X. 200 people on a fun Monday. So it says, someone call the doc. So I'm like, what does this mean? So you click it and it says, oh, I get it right away. They were highlighting that one of my colleagues said the Lions should trade for A.J. Brown. And I said, oh, Jesus, it's not possible, but you're calling me out. Now, real fast, I think you can go flip. Now, this becomes in a community post, this becomes a headline on Google. Right there. It becomes so on the weekend. So during the weekend, there's an even number of super chats at the moment. So currently, you can find this headline if you Google it. And I laughed. I'm like, this cannot be a Google headline. I laughed. I showed my kids. I said, look, your papa's made it. Someone get the doc on the phone. And I said, you know what? They can be insulting me. They can be doing whatever. You know what? Get the clicks. Get them. So you know what your boy did? Hell yeah, I wrote it. And it gives the clicks to the mothership. It gives click to the higher up. So why not? Yeah, I absolutely wrote it. So here's my thoughts on it. Okay, it's a crazy story. It's never going to happen, but I can share a story. Someone get the doc on the phone. And I thank you guys for doing that. It was a little funny. So what I did was simple, like anybody would do. If somebody's calling me out to write something, I'll write it. I don't mind anybody, nothing wrong. So what I did was, and this is simple, this is what's called pure aggregation. Okay. So what aggregation means is I didn't come up with this idea. I just highlighted it from my colleague. Blockbuster AJ Brown trade proposal puts Lions over the top. It's not clickbait. My colleague wrote it, so I wrote it. And I give him the click, and my audience goes to his audience. And that's what real teamwork is. And I wrote it too. Here's my story. I said, our typical Sunday is watching some golf, eating breakfast. So on Sunday, it was quite the surprise for this writer to be mentioned by nickname in a community post on someone else's site. I said, fine, I'll play along. I said, I would never write this because I hate fantasy football. I finished second place like 6 years in a row. The doc claimed he finished second place in fantasy football 6 years in a row. It raised like a couple. I hate fantasy football. But so what aggregation means is you just credit the other site. So I said, in a recent fantasy sports on Sports Illustrated piece, the Lions make the decision to be bold and make the trade for AJ Brown. Now, the trade terms are crazy. The trade terms are crazy. But he wrote it. He wants to give up a 2027 first, a 2027 second, and Ennis Rakestraw for AJ Brown. He doesn't, Thomas Corelli is not a fan of the wide receivers room. He's like, make the move. And I said, in my opinion, the Lions offense has a pretty deep receivers room. Brown has a $23 million cap hit. You can't sign Laporta, Branch, Gibbs if you go with AJ Brown. But he writes, Brown would move ahead of JMO on the depth chart. The two receivers have somewhat different skill set. Brown is more of a physical possession receiver, whereas Williams offers more vertical big play upside. Brown's present wouldn't match Williams' field stretching profile, but it would cap some of Williams' upside. So it's a Monday. We have fun. I'm a good teammate. Someone called Doc on the phone. If you challenge me, I don't have a problem writing anything. I don't care if you're trying to insult me. I'll write anything. Okay? I give you my opinion. If you read it, you were more wiser that someone wrote it. It was not my idea. I don't think it works. But a lot of you on X and YouTube were like, AJ Brown is a cancer. This is stupid. This is nonsensical off-season topic. And I said, hey, someone said, get Doc on the phone. I answer the phone. If you call me out, I have no problem writing it. But I think it's ridiculous, in my opinion. The Lions are not going to get AJ Brown. But your opponent might. So chat, it's a fair question. The New England Patriots are pretty much set to trade for AJ Brown. Should the Lions or any other team let it happen? Would you consider the Lions being bold for another receiver? Could you imagine 4 receiver set being AJ Brown, Tesla on one side, JMO and Amon-Ra on the other? It would be costly, crazy. You might have to do some weird deals. Would you do it? Russ is like, that would make 25 receivers. Look, you just signed. Listen, I mean, you're going to cut. You would cut naturally the Dolphins receiver right away. You would just cut him. You just cut him. Is it too crazy to think about? Man, that's wild to think about. That the Lions in with a couple of spots open, added a receiver with AJ Brown out there. You would just have to cut Cedric Wilson right away. Now, I think most people say no. We currently have 11 super chats, odd number. Yes, Cooper's from the D, but Iggy's from Ann Arbor, Xavier. 11 super chats. My understanding, there should be an even number. This comment was the one that was sent the most on YouTube and Facebook. They were like, what? Dan Campbell would never allow such an impudent a-hole on his team. That was the number one response from the peoples. But I was like, you know what? We're open to talk fantasy scenarios. And also, too, for those that don't know, when a parent site or another site writes something interesting about the Lions, I am allowed to credit that site, talk about it, give my perspective, and pass up clicks. It helps the family. So when on SI writes something or SI writes something, I'm allowed to write it. It also makes me a great teammate, and I'm a great teammate. So again, and I always come on here and I want the listeners to know what that means. It's not my idea, and it doesn't make me a bad guy for parroting that idea, or what do you call it? When you highlight it, it doesn't make me a bad guy for elevating it because I talked about it. This guy, Thomas, Mr. Thomas C, wrote it. I'm allowed to talk about it, share it with the audience, and go, I don't think it'll happen. But it's interesting because your opponent could do it. If the Patriots get A.J. Brown, it makes them a little bit better, which I don't like. And also, Broski Bear says too, Rams are in the market too. Right. I don't want a competitor to have the chance to get better. Why not you? That's a little bit aggressive. That's defining aggressive. But I don't know if it's the right fit. Are you guys ready for A.J. Brown standing on the sideline, being mad at Jared Goff, and Doc writing, it seems like A.J. Brown hates Jared Goff? The 12th super chat is in. Olivia, I'm sorry. Don't let your dad embarrass you. That's funny. That's the most common. He's not a lion. Russell Wayne would rather trade for Cooper DeJean if we are trading with the Eagles. Nick JP87, Jags going to AJ as well. See? He's on the market. Post June 1 trade. See, like I said, I think the one thing that people understand in the field I'm in, we talk about everything. We're an open book. We don't have to hide from anything. I'm not and listen, it was I thought it was just a pleasure, but I got the gist of the post. Oh, this is crazy. So Doc will this is Doc's alley. Thank you. People read it. And almost 500-600 people commented on it. So I'm open to talk about anything from the wild to the mundane. And that's what makes this project fun. And that's what makes it, as they say, no fear. Cero, miedo, no fear, baby. Nick JP87, happy Memorial Day. Of course he isn't a lion. AJ has won a Super Bowl. You guys are funny. All right, last 5 minutes. Today we talked about, 2 hours flew by. I feel like I just sat down. I feel like I literally just sat down. We talked about the fact that 2-9, whatever you make of those numbers, we will be at Allen Park and we will talk to Dan Campbell. We will observe a practice, talk to players. OTAs this week. So all week at Lions on SI, we'll talk about players to watch, storylines, talk about what we're going to look for, obviously, with the revamped offensive line, the defensive line. Obviously, the trenches, you don't get a big sense of assessment, but we'll get a sense of movement, size, acclimation, just how they're talking to the media, what they've learned, storylines like the injury updates on Kirby and Brian Branch, contract updates on Gibbs and Laporta. Obviously, we'll know if Laporta probably is not going to be out there, I don't think. But we'll see how much movement, how much these guys are out there. We'll get a chance to see the second-year players, Tyleek Williams, see the young players like Ahmed Hassanin, see the rookies like Derek Moore, Jimmy Rolder. Great. It's just another chance to talk ball, and we'll be here with it. The 13th Super Chat comes in. I know that people like it even. $4.99 Super Chat. That's why you're the doc. Thank you. 13 Super Chats so far. How much influence does Sheila and Martha have in picking players from Phil C? Obviously, the top lets Brad Holmes pick the players, but clearly they know what type of player to bring in. Obviously, it has been made pretty clear that Sheila and Martha are very involved. They understand everything that's going on. They meet regularly with Brad and Dan, and they're up to date. They're not gonna, weigh in on like, oh, I think this or that. They're going to say, okay, they're just going to ask those questions. Is this guy a hard worker? Is this guy going to be great in the community? How's he help the football team? And Brad and Dan will fill them in, and they'll make the decisions. Brad Holmes is in charge of the player roster development. Dan Campbell is in charge of putting the pieces together on the field, making the decisions as well. They work in collaboration, but how much influence do they have in picking players? Relatively small. They're aware, but they're not going to influence. No owner of that stature really should be doing that. Now, guys like Jerry Jones and certain owners do that, but that's why Jerry Jones hasn't been to the Super Bowl in a long ass time. Yeah, Nick JP. So injuries start this week. They get on the field. Let's just hope no injuries, right? Please. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We have 13 Super Chats. We got like maybe 1 or 2 minutes to get it to the even number. We call it a day. Make it your biggest. Big Super Chat bourbon. The 14th Super Chat has come in. Everyone have a good night, Doc. Go green. Mishanuga, thank you, brother. Thank you guys for making this worthwhile on a Monday. 2 hours. Remember, a lot of people took the day off. A lot of your favorites took the day off. You're friendly, semi-talented, semi-handsome, semi-tan, bull in a china shop. Your favorite pleasant reporter, podcaster, insider came on and gave 2 hours live after a day of fun in the sun. If that doesn't tell you what I'm about, nothing will. I will grind. I will come on here. You guys say we hate tape shows. We've eliminated them, but maybe tomorrow might be taped because there's a chance I could have some fun with my girls' volleyball team. There's a chance the doc is going to compete against his daughter in volleyball. So it might be just a quicker show because today was a 2-hour holiday edition. Tomorrow just might be a quick in and out, 30 minutes. But give me that grace, and then Wednesday will come back. Most likely. Now, there's a chance, but most likely 7 o'clock show tomorrow, hitting the beats of the Detroit Lions OTAs, and then we'll come back fully strong for maybe another 2 hours on Wednesday. That's kind of how it's looking early on. Mission Nugas resetting the tone. You pay for the wings. I pay for the wings entertainment. Listen, man, they earned it. They earned it, brother. They earned it. The big timers. The big timers. Zuzu Aubrey, what did you do today? It was a special day. I hung out with the family on the lake, got tan, ate good, hung out, joked around, and I got to spend time with my favorite people, my kids, my wife, my sister, my brother in law, his great family, and my nephews and my nieces. I got to spend time with the greatest people ever. And I got to take pictures of the people closest to me. And it was the best day ever. I look at a day like today and it sticks in my mind that I should do more of that. I'm working hard. I'm podcasting 2 hours later, but to me, the memories that I will have in my life will stick with me, will be the times like today. I'll never forget it. I'll close my eyes and picture the fun I had today on that beautiful lake with that beautiful water with my beautiful family and my beautiful nephew who is smart and talented and is great. And my nephew whooped my ass 21-6 in cornhole. Good Lord. To end the day on a sour note, my nephew whooped my ass in cornhole. And I'm talking about boom. He just was hitting the board all day long. Point, 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 point. And however the board was positioned for me, I was trying to throw it. And it was just whoosh, curving to the right, curving to the left. And I was short. I could not get the perception to get the damn bag into the hole. Today, I had a hard time hitting the hole. Today, I had a hard time hitting the hole. But to spend time with that dude, I have the pictures. Listen, I have the pictures in my phone. It's great. Appreciate you, Xavier. Appreciate you, Zuzu. You know, Zuzu, what I did today. Riley was once again listening to an old Doc video earlier today, the day of the Steelers game last year, his post-game show. I hate when the Lions lose, but love Doc's genuine, passionate reaction on those. And you know what? I'm going to listen to that probably too tonight. Oh, Nick P? Oh, Nick, JP87. We had an 80-degree day. Finally, the sun was out. I got tan. I was on the lake. I hung out with family. We did water activities. We played cornhole, drank, ate. Perfect Memorial Day for the Doc and his family. Perfect, perfect memory-making day for the Doc. Smash that like button for me. 15 super chats. Oh, Mission I'm staying longer. We can't have an odd number. 15 super chats. 313 Villain Squad. Shout out to the Villain Squad. Check them out on YouTube. Check out the Facebook page. They're doing great work. They're building a huge Lions community. They're fair-minded. They open up ideas, and that's a great squad. Great Russ does a good job, and I like talking to him. We have 15 super chats. Remember, we can't. Some people hate odd numbers. Appreciate you, Villain Squad. Check out the Villain Squad on YouTube. He does great content. And if you're not down with the villain, you're not down with the rogue podcaster, I got 2 words for you. Suck it. We got, what is it, 15 super chats? Are we going to finish with an odd number? Right now. Doc, you're one special dude. You care about all the sports podcasters. Just love it. Yeah, I care for most of them. Of course. I love it. It's first of all, it's just an amazing thing where podcasts have gone to know what part I had in it. The Lions as a company seem to have a culture they project. Yeah, the Lions culture is gritty, tough, community minded, strong willed. good in the community, good people. And look, you don't want to upset anybody, but they um oh, I missed something here. I'm gonna tease it because I want to get to it tomorrow. I want more here. A individual here, he talked about it, and I said I would talk about it, but it just didn't fit today. But tomorrow I will touch on it. Motor City Mia, my humble apologies. He messaged me, and I'm gonna read it, and I'm going to then tell you I'm gonna hit it tomorrow. I'm gonna say that topic didn't fit really for today. But here's what he said, Doc. So I just thought about it. Could you see a world where, let's just say, skip drafting a quarterback in 27? Could you see a world where they try going after somebody like Anthony Richardson from Indy or Michael Penix if he couldn't prevail in Atlanta? If they could go the sit behind Jared Goff and learn route. So people are looking at the next quarterback and which one's next. Could it be somebody like somebody established or somebody that just got beat out by somebody else, like a Richardson or a Penix? Stay tuned for that. I'll hit on that tomorrow. That'll fit in perfectly to something else. Marcus Newsom. You got to actually send it, brother. A lot of DMs flying in. Marcus, if you want me to answer, but I can answer that probably tomorrow too. Let me give a shout out to Mishanuga, Nick JP. Thank you for tuning in on this fine evening near 11 o'clock. Marcus Newsom, Nick JP 87, Gavis Con wants to shout out Montreal. Gavis knows, tighten up. I also have affinity for the Titans. Go Titans, go Mercy. It might have been hotter. It was perfect. It was perfect. It might have been 80s, but the weather was perfect. I was comfortable, not cold. The water was cold, yes, but it was. Oh, listen, you enjoy yourself, Florida. It was perfect. Everyone that was in Michigan that had a chance to be on the lake was on the lake today. You guys' chats are very interesting. You kept me entertained, and I'm very happy. 15 super chats on Memorial Day, and I went longer than 2 hours. I went 131 minutes, and it'll be 132 minutes. Thanks, everybody, for your time and attention. This was a special show. I'll remember it. And Riley, I'll peek back at the Steelers one and see what was good. Thank you humbly for the time. Thank you for the donations. Really, the super chats help keep the project going and makes it worthwhile to have an opportunity to be part of a community and to share with you what goes on in my head, how fun it is to do this job and to joke around with friends and to see old friends come in here. Perfect day, perfect podcast. Couldn't ask for more. If you just are somebody, if you're just somebody that is peeking in and you say, okay, what's this guy about? Tune in to Memorial Day 2026. This is what I'm about. Talk a little smack, talk a little Lions, joke around with the commenters, and have a good time with it, and toast to a great, wonderful day. And to the great friends like Mishanuga who support this fine project, it means a lot. God bless Olivia and the Macaroon family. From the internet to God's ears. That's all I can ask for. It was a great day. Beautiful day. It's 11 o'clock in your hometown city, wherever it is. Hopefully it's Eastern Standard Time, but in some parts of the world, it's 10:58 Eastern Time. Love everybody. Let's go. Smash the like button. Hopefully everybody was entertained for these 2 hours. And if you're a night owl, you got 2 hours to go. I am the Doc, John Macaroon. I represent fully, humbly, the Detroit Sports Podcast, which was founded back in 2013. And this is all made possible thanks to On Sports Illustrated. Always remember, Doc came live on Memorial Day. A little late, but always great. Appreciate your guys' time. Let's do it again tomorrow. But tomorrow most likely will be a taped episode, but we'll hit the thoughts. We'll hit the reaction to someone wanting maybe AR-15, AR-5. Anthony Richardson, it's probably not going to get favored much, but Penix is interesting. I'll dive into that. It's interesting. Who's next kind of on the NFL level that could be coming in here? Well, it's an interesting topic. And again, check out all the videos. I did a video clipping some stuff from previous shows, and let me know if you like the graphics. I'm having fun with Canva like everybody else does. It's no secret. It's a great graphic design for the amateurs. I think they're coming out okay. They're getting a little better day by day. And so I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you for listening in for 2 hours, 15 minutes. Appreciate all the comments, all the super chats, and all the great people. Good night now. Let's talk tomorrow. And again, to those that served, the Doc is indebted. Detroit Lions on SI is indebted. We appreciate your humble service. You're far greater people for having the courage to do what you do. And to all those that sacrificed, it means a lot that we're able to do this and speak freely about sports, life, whatever, because of the efforts that you made to allow it to be possible. I know what this day is about, and I humbly take minutes to say thank you for anybody that is in the armed services. I will always have reverence for those that partake in an endeavor that I don't have courage to do. And it means a lot. It means a lot from the Lone Wolves podcast. It means a lot from the whole country. And just know that today is a day that we don't let pass where we don't understand what the meaning of the service you did and the sacrifices you made, what it did for people like myself. Thank you humbly. Let's talk tomorrow. Detroit sports, Detroit Lions, and have some entertaining talks. Good night now.